Welcome back. This episode is to provide 4 tips on how to prepare for court. These 4 tips can be used if you have an active case, if one is about to be filed, or if you're the respondent and you have just received a citation for a divorce or a suit affecting the parent-child relationship, also known as a SAPSR. Step 1, go to court. Look at your citation and read the number of the judicial district in which your case is going to be heard. Then go and sit in that judge's courtroom or the associate judge's courtroom if your district has an associate judge. Plan to spend a day or two just sitting in court, observing, listening to the cases, the arguments, taking note of how the court procedures are done, taking note of the court's procedures. Sit and pay attention. Next, and these are in no particular order, visit www.texaslawhelp.org. You will find a lot of free information, a lot of free downloadable forms that you can use to know what may happen in your case, what you can do if you are acting pro se, meaning you're representing yourself in court, or just to have knowledge of what are some of the possibilities in your case. Now, keep in mind that these are not tailored to your unique situation. I myself do not use those, but that is a place where I direct people if they are going to be representing themselves. Third, if you have a SAPSR or a divorce with children, then you have children. With children, there must be a parenting plan put in place either at temporary orders, at final orders, or at both if you have both. The court's job is to do what is in the best interest of the children. So if your position is that it is in the best interest of the child for you to be the primary managing conservator, it's your job to show the court why. This is not the time to bash the other parent, but instead to show why appointing you as the primary managing conservator is in the child's best interest. So what do you think about with that? You think about whether you or the other parent is in a better position to get them ready for school every day. Does one of you leave super early to go to work? Does one of you work from home? Who has the more flexible schedule? Who normally takes the child to their different appointments, to their after-school activities? If school releases between 3 and 4 p.m., who is available to be at home when the child arrives back from school? Or who can pick the child up? If there's aftercare, who picks the child up from aftercare? Is there a family member involved? The court is going to want to know what is the child's schedule and which parent is better able to meet that child's needs. One tip is to write down what typically happens in a week. Which parent has which responsibilities, and think about who is better able to meet that child's needs on a Monday through Friday basis, a weekend basis, Monday through Wednesday basis. Look and see what the child is doing and who can meet those needs. The fourth tip for preparing for court is to look at your finances. Now, this may be an unpopular suggestion or idea, so I'm going to preface it with that. Is it more expensive for you to be the primary managing conservator or more expensive for you to be the possessory conservator? Typically, the possessory conservator, at least in Texas, is the one who pays child support. If there is one child involved and there are no other children outside of this action, then the amount of child support is typically, if we're going by the guidelines, 20% of that parent's net resources. So if 20% of your net resources is, let's say, $1,000 per month, but that child is in daycare, and at least in the DFW area, it's really hard to find a daycare that is under $1,000 a month. So is it less, and we're only talking finances here, not the value of having your child with you. If it is more financially advantageous to you and it works better with your work schedule, is it better financially for you to be the primary managing conservator who receives $1,000 per month in child support when daycare is $1,000 or $1,500, or I've even seen over $2,000 a month in daycare for some of these really expensive schools. Is it financially, we're only talking about finances, is it financially beneficial for you to be the possessory conservator where your obligation is $1,000 per month and usually at least half of the uninsured medical expenses, and perhaps even covering the child on your health insurance plan? Is that more advantageous to you to pay $1,000 per month as the possessory conservator? Or is it more advantageous to receive that $1,000 per month as the primary managing conservator when you also, if we're going by a standard possession order, when you also have every Monday through Wednesday night, every second and fourth weekends with the child, and most likely you're the parent who takes the child to the majority of their activities and gets them ready for more of their school days? Which one makes more sense financially? I'm only talking finances. I'm not talking about the value of spending time with your child or your children. So food for thought. So these have been 4 things to prepare for your court hearing. The first being to go and sit in court and just observe what happens in that judge's courtroom. Next, go to texaslawhelp.org and browse their forms for different sets they have for divorce and SAPSER cases. Number 3, document the child's activities, the schedule of possession, your schedule, your work schedule, starting from the time you wake up until when you go to bed, and see whose schedule is the schedule that works for the children. Number 4, finances. See what makes the most financial sense for you, yourself, and then you with your family, if you're still able to be on speaking terms and still able to be rational with the other parent. What makes sense financially? I hope you have found these 4 suggestions helpful, and I look forward to talking to you again at the next episode.